Westminster. Now, ladies and gentlemen, slightly ahead of the boat, just there on the right, you're going to see an old black and white barge here called the St. Catherine, the one with the glass roof. And this is the old royal barge. So if the king or queen was ever visiting London and they was going on the River Thames, they would have went on that barge. But in recent years, they do have a much newer, nicer, fancier one called the Gloriana. So if King Charles, Prince William or Kate are ever visiting London, they go on the much newer, fancier one. But if Harry and Meghan are visiting, we just put them on that one over there. It's the old spare one. Now, ladies and gentlemen, directly in front of the boat here, you'll see Waterloo Road Bridge. This is the longest road bridge to span the River Thames here in London. But we like to call it the Ladies' Bridge. The story behind that, during the years 1939 to 1945, while the males were away fighting for king and country, this bridge was predominantly built by the ladies that was left behind during the wartime. It's built out of an expensive Portland stone, but it's a self-cleaning stone, so when it rains, the face of the bridge cleans with a rainwater, and in a moment's time when we go underneath the bridge, you'll see the dirty underside where the rainwater does not reach. This bridge was the only bridge to be built on time and under budget, so well done to the ladies. Now, ladies and gentlemen, just over here on the right-hand side, slightly ahead of the boat, maybe the oldest thing in London I'm going to show you today, you'll see a stone obelisk over here, also known as Cleopatra's Needle. It's over 3,000 years old, it's older than London itself, but that is a present. It's a present from Egypt, as we helped them win the Battle of the Nile. That needle has a twin which can be found in Central Park, New York, that is also over 3,000 years old. And me and the captain, we actually spent a good bit of time, but we studied the hieroglyphics on that needle. It actually translates to Made in Egypt. But now, ladies and gentlemen, on the other side of the river, their left-hand side, you'll see Royal Festival Hall. I know it's not much to look at, but it has a world-famous concert hall. It has world-famous acoustics inside. Many greats have performed there over the years, just to name a few. Michael Jackson, who has sadly passed away. Whitney Houston, who has sadly passed away. Frank Sinatra, who has also sadly passed away. We're now just waiting for the Justin Bieber concert. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm joking, we love him really. Is it too late to say I'm sorry? This next bridge is Charing Cross Bridge. We'll ask the captain now to sound his horn. If we get the attention of anybody on the bridge, we give them a wave. Hopefully we get a wave back. If they wave back, it means they're on holiday. If they don't wave back, it just means they're from London and they're a bit grumpy. There's another bridge, we'll try again. It's also for our safety. If we see their hands waving back, it normally means they're not going to throw anything at us. Lovely, there's a few hands. But now, ladies and gentlemen, we enter the iconic part of London. Over on the left-hand side, on the south shore, you'll see the Millennium Wheel, also known as the London Eye. That was built in the year 2000 by British Airways, and there's 32 pods on the London Eye, but 32 is not a random number. That represents the 32 boroughs of London. That's actually why we call it the London Eye, because from the very top, you can see all 32 boroughs. That little fact for you now, ladies and gentlemen, the London Eye is one of the most popular places in the world for marriage proposals. But ladies and gentlemen particularly, if you are planning a marriage proposal on the London Eye, please do think it through, because a full round trip will take you half hour. You have 15 minutes on the way up, and you may be planning this moment for weeks or months in advance. And your plan may be to pop the question at the very top, and then you may hear the words no. This is going to be a very awkward situation because you're not in that pod alone. You share that pod with 25 other people. So on the 15 minutes on the way down, it's going to be a very awkward situation. And the doors do not open, so there's no quick way out. So let's say, gentlemen, if you are planning a proposal on the London Eye, please do think it through. Please fully think it through. Take it from me. Now, ladies and gentlemen, directly in front of the boat here, you see Westminster Bridge, the only bridge here on the River Thames with 7 arches, each arch to represent the day of the week. And just to the right-hand side of that, you know it's the Houses of Parliament and the Elizabeth Tower. Some of you may think this is Big Ben, and this is not Big Ben. Big Ben is the name of the 13.5-ton bell inside the tower. So none of us ever actually see Big Ben, we only hear it on the hour and every hour. But ladies and gentlemen, there's actually a rumour that the bell is cracked inside the tower. But that would just be like most of the people that work inside that building anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, with the Elizabeth Tower at 1/4 past, 1/2 past and 1/4 to, you will hear some bells coming from within inside the Elizabeth Tower. This is not the Big Ben, this is the smaller Westminster chimes. These chime at 1/4 past, 1/2 past and 1/4 to. Like I say, Big Ben only chimes on the hour and every hour. Ladies and gentlemen, very shortly we're going to be making our way into Westminster Pier. If you have big bus tickets, this is where you shortly be leaving us. You can board the big bus at the top of the pier at the roadside. But now, ladies and gentlemen, just a few words about the commentary today. As mentioned at the start, I'm not a tour guide. I'm just a crew member aboard this boat, and it's my job to get us from A to B safely. However, I have learnt a few things about the river from my time working on it. That's been the aim of today, to try and pass on some of this knowledge. So I hope you found it enjoyable, maybe even learnt a thing or two. And if you did find it enjoyable, we do have a tradition here on the River Thames. That tradition is called the Captain's Silver Tip Bucket. It looks just like this. Don't be shy, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be standing at the gate holding this bucket, helping you across that dangerous gap. So if you have enjoyed my commentary today, if you think I've done well, you're more than welcome to show a token of appreciation as you leave this boat by throwing a few bob into this bucket. If you're unsure what a few bob is, that might be a 5, 10, 20, or even £50 note. Dollars and euros are also accepted. Ladies and gentlemen, I actually paid for these commentaries. We just do them to try and make your trip a little bit more entertaining, a little bit more interesting. So that's I hope you have enjoyed the commentary today, because we could have left you in silence, or should I say peace and quiet. Some of you may prefer this, but we do get better feedback if we give a live commentary. But sometimes you can spend the whole trip trying to download the company's provided audio guide, and the last thing you wanted to have to down London is a mystery tour. So ladies and gentlemen, I say when you do leave the boat, if you'd like to show a token of appreciation, you are more than welcome to. But when you do leave the boat, please take all your belongings with you.